All right. Hello, art people, and welcome back to the art room. I hope you guys had a fantastic break. We always at this school have to go over the expectations for each of our classrooms whenever we get back for a break from a break. So let's go ahead and do that. So let's go ahead and go over our first expectation. Yes, it is time to reteach the pause rules. And look, my shirt matches my shirt in the slideshow here. Okay, so number one, we need to practice positivity. And in the art room, that means to be kind to the teacher and the students. So, I create every single lesson from scratch. So if there's something you don't like about it, you need to keep it to yourself. That's how you're going to be nice to me. And you need to be kind to the students as well. So there's going to be no name calling or pestering or others or anything like that. And you're going to allow other students to work in peace and quiet. All right. So be like this picture here and just be cool and practice positivity. Number two, we need to act responsibly. Now, in art class, that means we are going to be on task the whole time. We're not going to stop working ever. We're going to be on task the whole time. If the task is to listen, you're going to listen. If the task is to draw, you're going to draw. If the task is to paint, you're going to paint. You're not going to stop working. Okay, we're going to use our time responsibly, using your time wisely. Okay. Work and play safe. So this is a 3-part rule. Number one, you need to stay in your area. Okay, and so if you need something, you're just going to turn your card red like this. Okay, you don't get out of your seat and go look for the art supplies. You turn your card red, and I will come up to you and I'll say, how can I help you? And you'll say, oh, can I please have a sharpened pencil? There's no sharpened pencils at this table, and for this step you asked me to get a pencil out, and then I will go and get you a sharp pencil. Number two, use the supplies how Mrs. McFarland does. So let me show you how to use the supplies. I don't want you to hurt yourself and others. I've had students who don't use the supplies how Mrs. McFarland does, and I've seen them stabbing their construction paper and have literally cut themselves because instead of like listening to all the tips and tricks that I have to cut things out safely, they just stab and hurt themselves. So there's a whole lot of art supplies in here. Just follow my instructions. Let me show you how to use it so that you don't get hurt. Also, I don't want you to ruin the art supplies. I've also had students use scissors incorrectly and they break the scissors. That's not good. Okay. If you have a new idea of how to use the materials, just ask me first. If you have an idea like, oh, what if I did this with this? Just ask me first, and I'll let you know if that's a safe choice or not. Okay. Okay, number three, only touch things when instructed to. So just because it's at your table doesn't mean you need to touch it. When you come into the art class, there might be aprons on the table because the last class used aprons. That doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be using aprons. So you need to wait and don't touch anything unless I tell you to. All right? Okay. Number four, you need to show respect. So there's two different types of people you're going to show respect to. Number one, the teacher, and if there's other adults in the room as well. Okay. So whenever I'm talking to you guys, you need to let go, look at me, and listen. All right. When the video or the teacher is talking to you. So right now, the video is talking to you. So you're not touching anything. You're looking up here and you're listening. Unless the video or the teacher says do something. So if I were to say, okay, kids, pick up your pencil, well, then you're allowed to take your eyes off the screen and pick up a pencil. But other than that, unless the video or the teacher has given you instructions, you don't need to be doing anything like that. And number two, quiet or silent when working. That's how you're going to respect the other students, okay? Believe it or not, we don't want to hear, the other students might not want to hear about everything you did this weekend. Maybe the child next to you does, but the kid on the other side of the classroom, they might be trying to talk quietly to their neighbor. Okay, or they might just be trying to work in peace and quiet. So be respectful to them and work quietly. So let me read this to you. A sentence here and there is fine, like complimenting a neighbor's art or sharing something about your art, for instance, but we shouldn't be telling full blown stories or sharing gossip. Oh, sorry, hold on. Get my camera back on. There we go. My bunny filter. All right. Okay, but we shouldn't be telling full-blown stories or sharing gossip, having an entire conversation. You shouldn't be talking for the majority of class, okay? And so you're not going to be getting dojo points if you spent most of the class talking instead of working. Another thing is, if your talking stopped you from working, you don't get to talk. The only talking you're allowed to do is if you can work and talk at the same time, number one. Number two, you're doing it quietly. And number three, you're not doing it the whole time. There's nothing wrong with hanging out with a friend and drawing and just saying a few things to each other. There's nothing wrong with that. But it shouldn't be the whole reason you come to art. The whole reason you come to art is to do art and to learn about art. But a little talking here and there is fine. But if I feel like it's too much, I'm not giving you dojo points. So make sure you are following these rules so that you guys can get your dojo points and go to Bulldog Bash and all those great things. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.